another episode of Pivot and Profit, a podcast by the K Financial and Pest Productions. In this podcast, we get to talk to people who are movers and shakers across their industries. In Africa, we're talking about tech, we're talking about VC, we're talking about private equity, we're talking about finance. We're talking about people who are having an impact on the future and the present of Africa. Now, today's guest is someone who has also a very fascinating story and has been at the forefront of the tech space in the East African region, in particular in Rwanda. Now, why do we say so? Do you remember this thing called Rwanda Online? I bet most of you don't even know what that is. Well, it became Irembo. This person was part of the team, or build out the team that were at the forefront of that. He currently heads another edutech platform for the continent, for Africa, building for Africa, by Africans, by Africans. As always, I'm your host, Arnold Quizera from Arca Ventures Fund. Clement.
Yeah.
Welcome to Pivot and Profit.
Pleasure to be here.
Should I call you Clement or Clement?
Clement.
Clement. Oui, oui. Ça va bien?
Ça, c'est comme ça qu'il faut m'appeler.
Ah, très bien, très bien, très bien. Clement, you've done amazing.
Thank you.
For the record, guys, so Clement is a very competitive human being. Mm-hmm. I don't think you understand how competitive this guy is. Clement started playing golf in the middle of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. That's just about 4 years ago. In a 4-year period, this man is among the best golfers we have at our golf club. Not only is he among the best golfers, he's a single-digit handicap player. What handicap are you playing with now? 6?
6.
Guys, do you know what it takes? Guys, I wish you knew the dedication you need to have to become a single-digit handicap player. At that, to be a 6 handicap player.
It's being competitive and loving the challenge of learning. Actually, I think it's about like that the beauty of trying to be better every single day.
Yep.
I'm practicing something currently.
No, I saw you on the range the other day.
Yeah.
I saw you on the range.
So you always, like, the golf is such an addictive and beautiful game.
Yep.
Because you can never perfect it.
You can't. And people don't understand. So people think we make an excuse to just want to walk with each other, right?
No.
They're like, just ask each other for a walk as men and just go for it. You're like, no. We could be playing 4 of us, but I'm only competing against myself.
Yeah.
It is the hardest. So I want to believe that I'm a decent sportsman. I really played sports at quite a comfortable level, right? And I was really good at it. The hardest sport I've ever played is golf.
It is. It's hard. The others, you are reacting like to what other players are doing. So
Yes.
football, you react.
Yes.
If someone passes, he did something better.
Yes.
But golf is...
It's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you.
The ball is sitting there waiting for you to hit it. That's
And
it.
it's such a small ball, and you have all these instruments, and you can fail to move it.
Yeah.
No, it's... What got you into golf?
How did that happen? Oh, yeah. I mean, I went to, when they were still building the new course.
Yes.
I went with a guy who was leading the team building it, but there was someone with balls and golf clubs there, and I hit some balls. And this guy tells me, but you're hitting the ball well, you should practice this. And there is a place people go and just hit balls to learn how to do it. It's in Kinyinya.
Meze Park.
Yes.
It saved us.
And by the end of the day, he sent me, and there is this person selling golf clubs.
Ooh.
And I mean, during the pandemic, we didn't have much to do.
No.
So I said, okay, bought the bag. It wasn't very expensive. I went to Mez, starting hitting balls. And yeah, every afternoon I was going there, enjoying hitting it a bit better, a bit further. And doing that is so enjoyable by itself.
No,
and when the course opened, started playing.
No, I remember us doing a few trips to a golf club out of town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, next to Mohazi Falcon. And yeah, it's because we were not sure when the course is going to open. And in my heart of hearts, I was like, Clement is going to be so busy. He's not going to keep up. I kid you not, I've been greatly surprised by your addiction, dedication, and discipline. Because to find people that go to the range as well is not easy.
Yeah.
Because you need to create that time for it. What inspires you? What motivates you? Because this cuts across. It cuts across your businesses. It cuts across your daily life. Because golf is life.
Yeah.
It's the par 5 today is not the same par 5 tomorrow. The hole is different tomorrow. The clubs you're playing could be different on each day. That is life.
Yeah.
What keeps you glued? What keeps you humbled? What keeps you disciplined that way?
Well, I mean, I think we have time. We just choose what to do with that time. I mean, yes, we don't have enough time. We would all love there is more time. But I think we choose what we do with the time. But then the more you choose what you do in the time, and what golf also teaches us is, and when you are dedicating the time, you are in the moment. Like, imagine I was here on your podcast, but I'm the type of person who is worried checking your phone, or like thinking that there is something I'm missing by spending time here, rather than just
being here,
pausing and enjoying the time, like enjoying every moment, like coming and looking at this nice studio, the young people who are contributing to making this happen, and say, like, okay, there are people who actually do this as a,
it's a
job.
passion and a
like
job.
Basically being in the moment. So being in the moment, I think, is the key word. And when you are in the moment is, if I need to find time for golf, then there is time I need to take out somewhere else.
Yep.
And sometimes not family, because also I need to find that time for family. So that means I have also to spend time working and doing the thing I do. So when I'm doing that, do I maximize that time and do the most I can do? Do I organize it in a way, because I work with many people scattered around the world with different time zones? Do I also organize that time in a way that it's effective for all of us to collaborate and progress the work we are doing? So I think it's really the way we organize time is it's not just discipline, but it's when you are into something, you are in that thing. So when I'm on the golf
course
doing range, did I think, was I thoughtful about it? So I will go, what do I spend time on? Do I lock that time? Is it like 1 hour? It's 1 hour. It's not like 1 hour and then I say, let me do 2 hours. But during that hour, is there something I want to really improve and work on? And I'm in the moment. I'm thoughtful about it. So I think, I think being in the moment and giving all your brain power and so to the moment. So am I working? Am I in a meeting with someone? Am I doing a podcast with Arnold? I want to be in the moment and give it my fullest at that time.
Clement, it's great that you bring out the issue of time, because I have struggled with explanation of time to I would say friends, younger cousins, right, who look up to you and say, okay, I want to do what Arnold does, I want to do what Clement does. But when you come and give them the concept of, you need to sacrifice this, you need to put in XYZ amount of hours, you need to read, they think time will always be there. Right? More often than not, as young people, we think tomorrow is another day, and we do things half, because half commitment, because there's time. I can do it tomorrow, right? I can procrastinate. How did you build that discipline to get you into taking care of your time, maximizing its potential, and ensuring that you do what you're supposed to be doing when you're supposed to be doing it?
Yeah. Like actioning, basically making action.
Yes.
Let's make it actionable.
Yeah, and let me max it out.
I mean, I'm a routine person,
Yes.
and anything that even gets out of my usual routine will probably be done badly or poorly. So, but yeah, I'm a routine person. So, if I have a routine of being somewhere every single time, like we can say, like waking up. I do wake up and I do my own coffee. Have been doing that for years, but it's my routine. Otherwise, if someone does coffee for me, something will go wrong afterwards, like because I don't know what to do or something. Yeah. So if I need to put in some exercise or so, then I will do that. If I need to do that, so because I do coffee, it has been my routine for years and years. Now everything related to breakfast, home with the kids, it's me. Like if I don't wake up and do breakfast,
no one's going to do
no one will get breakfast.
Yeah.
But then that creates time for me with my kids. Then that enters into my routine to spend time with the kids. And I know, like I wake up this time, do breakfast, we sit together, we do it together. I know what they like. They tell me the new thing and I see how they're eating, because then I know something is wrong or so. So that's part of my routine. It's that I'm in the moment, I'm present.
You're very intentional about it.
Yeah. Intentional, but then all of a sudden it's no longer intentional because it's routine.
It's habit.
It's habit. It doesn't even feel that it took time.
Yeah.
Because it's a habit, right? It's a routine. So within business, it's the same. I believe there are things like you are building a business. You have people you work with. Creating time you meet with these people on a regular basis and it's routine, even if you have nothing to talk about specifically, but you have that time.
Yep.
Like, yes, you speak with everyone every single time. Oh, by the way, did you meet this person? What did they say? Oh, did you go to the bank to deposit money? I'm thinking about your accountant. Yes. But then, as a leader of a business, if you don't have that 1 week time that this person knows you both sit together, you'll go through what was supposed to be done, but then it's also an opportunity to discuss, like to continuously convey what you have in mind as being the mission of the company.
Yep.
So like you do that on a regular. Yep. So now, do I create that time every single week with everyone I work with? Yes. Now, that creates routine as well. So the more you try to create routine and consistency around the things you do, the less they feel that they take time, and actually then you create opportunity to make time. Like
they become habits. But Clement, you bring me to a certain point, and I remember you and I talking about it briefly, which something to do with habits. I'll give myself as an example. 2024, I took a challenge, and I was like, I'm going to go a year without touching alcohol, because I wanted to build the habit of knowing, discipline, of knowing I'm not going to ever touch alcohol. I was able to do a year of no alcohol. Fast forward 2025.
The hardest weren't like the 1-2 months, and after that
it automates itself, right? 2025, I come back, I'm like, I'll do a beer or a glass, after a golf round or at a basketball game or somewhere. Bang. But then quickly falling into bad habits is so easy. Mm-hmm. It's so easy. Yeah. Building the good habits for yourself, what is important for you, that is the hardest part. So midway this year, I just realized, I'm like, nah, I'm not following. Like, this has become now a little bit too much for me. Yeah. I need to fall back into the habit of not touching alcohol. So now I'm back into, and that has been easy because I've done it before. Yeah. Like, it has been so automated.
Yeah.
How hard is it to build good habits for you?
I mean, I think talking about alcohol, which I
And especially even for
I
companies,
enjoy and
building
so
good
on.
habits for
Yeah,
companies.
but I mean, I'll give the example.
Yeah.
I try to do this 1 month, 2 month
Yeah.
of alcohol just to rest a bit, and
Yep.
so. And this is to send myself a signal. Are you still able to do that? Because sometimes it's harder than the others, right? Try to do that during December and you tell me.
Please pray for me in December. Please don't invite me to anything.
Yeah. But then sometimes it's to say, of course, I choose strategic months,
Yeah.
like February, the shortest month. Or, yeah.
Work smart, not hard.
Yeah. But then it is like proving yourself that you can stick to something for long enough. But generally, as you said, and that's why I asked the question, like the first 1 month or 2 months are the hardest. But I think starting to building good habits is to know that it will always feel hard at the beginning. I think there are many rules out there. Some say if you do something for 20 hours after that, you are gone and you are into it. But
Yeah.
if you abandon before, but I don't think that's it. It's more of if you do something long enough, then there is something that's called loss aversion. Like it's one of our bias as humans. But loss aversion is when you have gained something, then you start to hate a lot losing it.
Yep.
So when you have gotten into something long enough, you spent enough time into that, and that's the hardest part. Then you feel like that you start to feel the weight of that time you've put in. It doesn't. It's not like near. Like it's not conscious. It's in the.
It becomes part of your subconscious state.
Yeah, exactly. That you probably don't like. You wouldn't like to lose that.
Yep.
So therefore, it has gone. It's there.
Yep.
So that's one maybe theory. Like one is to really stick in long enough. Now let's come to business. It's there is something you should be doing so that your business runs better.
Yep.
Or goes better. Generally, breaking it down to some type of routine. Let's say for my business to go better, I need to at least speak to 1 client or 2 clients every single month in a setup that allows them to feel comfortable to tell me exactly what I want to know about what we do. Now, the first 2 clients you will speak to will demoralize you, that you will feel like you don't want to do that. But then after being demoralized so often by this conversation, it starts to become part of the normal, right?
And then you even learn how to adapt.
Exactly.
To know, okay, now this is going this direction.
Yeah.
Maybe someone is interested in something different.
Exactly.
Or a different part of the conversation. You learn to read body language. Yeah.
But then you start building the first few months, it's hard, and then let's say 1 week. So you break it. You start from the angle of I want to be better customer oriented. This will mean I need to speak to clients. This means the routine means a client a week. Then this means I need to find that time to do that, and then you do that, and over time it becomes a routine. And without you knowing, your business is more client oriented because you've just broken down the idea of being client oriented to the routine of meeting a client every single week that was harder to maintain but become better to maintain. Now, I've worked with one organization I feel was really had built a strong sales practice.
Okay.
You know Andela.
Yes.
Probably when people hear Andela.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I forget you were at Andela. Because the first time I met you, I don't think you remember this, but it was somewhere in Nyarutarama. And I was invited to your offices by a very good friend of mine called Alistair Mohire. This was Rwanda Online. Yeah. Right? And you were there. It was a very small team. You guys were a very tight-knit family. So it was you, Aline Kabatende, Alistair Mohire, and I think about 2-3 other people. It was a very small team. Yeah. And I was invited to a basketball game that you guys used to host on Fridays. Shout out to all the people. Community League, shout out. And I met you, and you were this geek. You were a nerd. Before we even dive into the story of Vandela, what was the story of Rwanda Online that now has become this massive, huge company called Irembo? You being the first person to run that. Did you ever envision it becoming the company it is today?
I mean, it's much better than what I envisioned. I mean, the goal had always to have it be like what it is.
Yep.
Sometimes it's, it comes out and appears to actually be on a trajectory to become a really respected technology company. I mean, it's, when you have a company where you continuously are amazed about the things they turn around and pull out, it's really nice to see. When we started, did we envision it will be this big? Well, it was the mandate that it becomes this big, right? The Rwanda Online, because that's how the company was called, by the way, was a working name. Like, you know, when you start negotiating something, and this has been before we actually put a team together and started working on it. It was a program and project and approach that was negotiated for the 4 years that preceded it happening.
Oh, wow.
So 4 years of discussion. So the idea started as we were a team of 4 or 5 people who went to Kibuye to brainstorm on what government should put into its plan for the ICT development for 2010-2015, I think, if I remember well. And one of the ideas that came up was a platform that would enable any government agency to easily publish its services online. So when you want any government agency to publish its service online, there needs to be something that enables that makes it simple. And the thing was, we would call, like, every government agency would need a payment gateway. That would be stupid that every government agency builds one by itself. Every government agency would need to authentify citizens and know that they are the ones asking the service. Well, this should be the same thing for all government agencies. So every government agency would need to notify people via SMS. So this should be a platform. So the idea was that, like, a platform of common services that any agency that has services needs, so that these services are digitally published. Then, like, it was adopted as one of the things that government should work on in 2010-2015. Then a company called Ngali, the CEO was in that group of 5, myself and 3 other people. We can come back to that, because sometimes the history of ICT here was a number of people who always gathered. So the CEO of Ngali was there, and then started advocating for this being a public-private partnership, Ngali being a private company, but also a private company and owned by government and innovation arm for government. Started advocating that this should be run as a public-private partnership, where the private partner takes the risk, builds and creates the innovation, and if the innovation works, then each transaction would be an income for the company that has built and invested in that. 4 years of negotiation.
4 years of negotiations.
And discussion. Like, so I called it a working name, because the documents that circulated about, okay, what would this thing look like? Oh, so the Rwanda Online would look like this, would work like this, you know. So it circulated across the agencies as the Rwanda Online. So then when it got approved and the contract started to be negotiated, was Rwanda Online platform. And so it became Rwanda Online. So when it got signed, Andrew, who was the CEO, calls me, says, there is, so that project we talked about is now concrete. Do you want to lead it? So that's,
what were you doing at this time?
I was running my own company called Axis.
Clement, how long have you been doing this thing?
I started
This
business
IT
in this same building
Yeah.
2005.
No way.
Yeah,
No way. So
2005.
you were running Access, and now
Access was one of the leading software development
Yes.
companies.
So how do you make the jump? Because you're now running a leading private company to now go into a PPP.
So leading, yes, but we had at Axis been trying to go out of what I would call a consulting type of business model, where people pay us for us to build their custom software.
Yep.
Generally, the custom software we would build would be used, but not fully used. Always was a frustration, even though we worked, but it was a frustration. We tried to pivot to products.
Okay.
Created one, I would say, spin-off company, or contributed one spin-off company called Cairns that did bus ticketing.
Yes.
So we would
With Musa.
Yes, with Musa. So they had the clients and some technology, but we had also built a better technology. We brought it together, and the Cairns we became a shareholder, but also gave the technology, so it built Cairns. Cairns grew to some extent.
Yep.
We tried another based on our point of sale, but this didn't pick up. But
was it a wrong timing thing? If you look back, because when one looks at like these last 10 years, if any of these companies come into the market in these last 10 years, where it looks like it's more glossy. It's not easy, but it's much better than 2005. In terms of reception and
so I'd say when we started to want to do the products, like it takes a lot of effort. Like so for the POS thing, one of our first client was what was this coffee shop that was on top of the Impact Hub?
Cafe Neo.
Yeah,
Che
was our
he
first
did the
client.
first co-work space. Che Rupari did the first co-work space with Cafe Neho here. In fact, we should have Che on Pivot and Profit to tell the coffee story too, because right now Kigali is full of quality coffee shops.
That was the first?
It was the first of its kind where people would go and work from there.
And enjoy good coffee. Yeah, they were right after Bourbon and before anything else.
Yes, but you know,
Bourbon
was seen as it was. I couldn't walk and work in Bourbon coffee with my tattoos and right. It was it was a place we went to on Sundays with family, right. Cafe Neo was a place, a young guy, anyone who's figuring it out, a freelancer, the cool kid-ish. You go, you put down your laptop and you work. And
you order that coffee that you sip very slowly.
Very slowly, and house water. And house water.
So it was our first client on the POS, and then we got like up to 10 clients. But then these were paying on a monthly basis, not that much, like 50,000 Rwanda francs. Okay. But then you need to get to like 100 of clients for it to make sense. Wow. But then for you to get there, like you need to survive as a business. So like product business require investment by default. And investment fuel growth, because you can just order as many devices as possible. Our defect rate, like a POS we would bring and then dies within the next week, was like 10%. So you need to have like so many so that you can. We wanted a price point of 200 per POS. So we ordered like tablets from China, Android based. So like you needed to try all those things, maybe to fly there yourself and try them from there and see.
Very capital intensive.
Yeah, it's capital intensive. So bad timing, I would say, because maybe who thought they would invest maybe $1 million in a startup in Africa at that time?
Not many people.
So I hope today
it's fascinating how the more we scratch the surface here on Pivot and Profit, and also previously on Startups and Fuck-Ups, on the story of tech in Rwanda. Rwanda was so ahead of the continent in regards to the direction and the quality of startups when you look back to the early 2000s?
There is a good reason for that. Like
What's
if
the
I
reason?
think about Axis also, it's
Yeah.
we started with mostly working with private companies, digitizing their processes like invoicing process, manufacturing process with printing companies. But companies were doing this because government was digitizing. Like government was heavily digitizing, like putting websites out there, trying to improve like RRA taxes were already, I mean, you would go to some places like something as simple as cash power, like you just go buy a cash power, you put it in the, so like that signal of like government heavily investing in digitizing created a signal to the whole market that like you need to do that. So, but also Access grew considerably when we started working with government and digitizing some of the government process within the Prime Minister's office, within, we did a bunch of really good things with different government institutions. So, so companies existed because of that. Whether you worked directly with government or whether you created something for the private sector or for the consumer, but just because there was that signal. Like if government created something where you buy cash power, I remember people queuing in this building there was a few shops, but then they created a solution for agents so that shops nearby within your neighborhood can sell you cash power. Then you started doing that. But like basically like that was at the forefront. So yeah, it comes from that vision that we
So come to Axis. There is an offer from Andrew. He says, "Come and run this thing." You're like, "It's a no-brainer." You wrap things up at Axis.
So
your team take it?
I felt we were running small and I was tired. Like
How old are you at this time?
I'm 31, 32.
Oh, okay. You've come back from Thailand.
Yeah.
The infamous Thailand trip.
So I'm 32 and I was tired about the consulting. I felt it was no longer sustainable. Like the Google of this world were out there. Like you could go online and find a good management solution for your business without having to call me and pay me 10 million Rwanda francs for you to write one. And if you were digital savvy enough, you could configure it and it works for your business. So it felt like it was no longer the thing to do. But also when it came to things we did for government, they wouldn't really pick up, like in the sense of, So I felt it's an opportunity to now build to be a software as a service kind of, or a consumer-led product.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was good timing.
So you jump ship at Rwanda Online.
Yes.
You go ahead to put together this team. You guys work on your first. What's your first product?
So when I joined Rwanda Online, the mandate was in 7 months, we have 5 government services online. They were listed, and it was registration to pass driving license tests. It was a birth certificate, marriage certificate, and then criminal record certificate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's equivalent of Interpol certificate.
So when you want criminal records, when you're applying for a job, you generally will need a criminal records
certificate.
The reason was these were high transaction services. So that meant our cut as a company would also then start to give us enough cash flow very soon in the business. But also, yes, we was 5 services. So we started working on that. So putting the team together, I mean, we didn't code initially. So we had also a joint venture with a Singapore company that has already built government services in Singapore. So technically that helped because they knew how to build things that can be used by thousands of people at once in a day. So we started building that, building our servers, building the team again, and going through a number of iterations. After 7 months, so we started building this, maybe was around December. So we were to have the first services in July, 15th of July, I remember. Then when we launched the platform, the following day it all crashed.
Oh,
And it took us a week to put it back up.
So why did it crash? Overwhelmed with the numbers?
So not the numbers. So, no, we didn't have many transactions. So there is like, it's technical work. So it's technical. Like
Speak to us like for 5
it
years.
was
There's
so
something
you
you're not
have
ready for?
complex servers that you've been setting up for months.
Yes.
But this one server maybe is in charge of managing SMS. The other server is in charge of managing application sessions. So if you are an applicant for a government service, we need to manage your session until the application has gone through. So we have that. And then you have another that manages the interaction with the citizen. So the interaction with the citizen is either you come through the website or you come through USSD or you come through our agent. We had already a Irembo agent right from the beginning. So these things need to all be communicating at once so that they all know where everything is at, right? So when this communication doesn't synchronize, then
Something is going to go wrong.
Something is going to go wrong. If I remember well, we figured out that in one of the many servers we were running, the time was set incorrectly. The time of that server, and then that got this whole thing not to work. But then this figuring out that took time.
It took a week.
Almost.
There
was a lot of pressure.
What's going through your mind? Are you having sleepless nights during this period?
Yes.
I can only imagine.
Not only, but yeah, for the first time, I'd say, our country is efficient and our government is efficient because everyone follows up on important things, right? So you start to get calls of people you wouldn't expect to get call from, following up on the work that's going on, and like say,
Chiboko is coming. Chiboko is coming, and you don't want to be at the receiving end.
It was.
It's good pressure.
I value the experience I learned from.
So Rwanda Online goes online.
Yeah.
If you look back at that time and say, okay, this was my biggest lesson from this shortfall, what is it?
From that shortfall of
Any
1
of,
week or
any of the shortfalls within Rwanda Online, what's the one thing you look back and say, this was my most valuable lesson at Rwanda Online?
Well, the importance of managing stakeholders when you are running something as big as that.
Did you know how big it was?
Maybe I didn't realize.
Happens.
Yes.
Clement, and especially when you're building a plane while at the same time flying the same plane, right? It's not easy. You're 32. You're in a leadership role. Then it's of something that hasn't yet been done before. It's you are meant to hit a few windfalls. So fast forward, Rwanda Online, it becomes Irembo. You step aside onto the next big thing, which is Andela.
Mm-hmm.
How is that transition to Andela? Big unicorn.
Yeah. How would I say that was? That was such a long time ago. I don't even remember what I felt. So to tell you how
did Andela come?
But how did it?
Yeah, how does it come up?
I mean, it was. I can't remember if Andela had a good recruitment process, like talent acquisition process. Actually, it's a company now. Some of the companies, I always advocate to have really, like, people think about recruitment as a people function, or a human resource function. No, talent acquisition is kind of a sales process. It's like a sales. You want to sell to people the idea of coming and working with you. That's talent acquisition. And Andela is a company that had that really well.
It's funny that you talk about this, because one of our episodes we had someone who works in the HR profession and has built out a company there, and her and I we just seem to disagree, right? And from what you say and speak of, many of people in the business of employing people, and I think that's why the smart companies have moved away from it being HR to recruit people. It's talent acquisition, as you mentioned. People approach you and say, hey, we want you, and we think you could add A, B, C, D. Of course, they're not only talking to you. They're talking to 4 of you in that same order, but they're trying to sell you a vision and a mission to buy into. You saw that then.
Yes, imagine that was 2018, and then I was doing that great. And the smart companies have a really hectic, lengthy recruitment process that goes through 4-5 stages.
Yes.
So as you go through that, the talent acquisition associate in charge of you has to make you want to go through that. So that's why it's a sales process. So yes, we need to be sure we are getting the right person. But as we do this, we need to ensure the right person, because the right person will hate us for getting them through all these processes. That's why we need a talent acquisition person who, like, this person is constantly updating. Also, your interview went well, by the way. From some of the feedback I heard, maybe you should emphasize more about this of your strength. Think about it in your next interview, and then you go to the next interview. So you feel this person is your partner through the recruitment process. And that, the first time I heard that was...
you were amazed.
I went through such a process was at Andela. So they reached out to me, and talking about recruitment, they reached out to me. They say, we are going to go to Rwanda. We are looking for a managing director, and we have some partnership with the government. You'll have managed partnership with the government. You are a software engineer. Our business is software engineer. I mean, who in Rwanda would have been the best to doing this job? I said, of course.
It was set up for you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm available.
Here, I mean,
and the paycheck looks good.
This is my CV. I thought they will call me, have me do one interview, and then that's it. I mean, the process took like a month or 2 months. With the last interview, I had to fly to Lagos and meet, was it Jeremy or no, Christina Sass, who was the co-founder. And that was my last interview. But when you get to that interview, it's more about, we call it, even where I work, we have that. We call it a leadership interview. It's already established that...
it's about, now the ball is in your court to drop it.
Exactly. It's almost, I mean, it's already established you can do the job.
Yep.
But now it's more, it's you to drop it, but it's more also like the leader who is interviewing you feeling like, oh, this is a person I love to work with. Okay. Now, generally it will be the case, but I mean, maybe there could be like, leaders, we could sit together and then we talk about our families, we talk about that, and all of a sudden I have a flag, like discussing with you. I feel like, this person has something weird.
Yes.
I will not tell you directly, but I will go tell the team, when I discuss this person, I found something weird. Can you dig into their, maybe can you learn more about why he left that job?
Yep.
Or, because
great you mentioned that, because personally, one of my biggest regrets was I've been in a situation whereby someone is trying to recruit me, and I ended up taking the job. But from the first meeting with this leader, head of a board of the company, I knew something was off.
Yeah.
I knew something was definitely off. I knew it was so off that I started asking other people around. I'm like, are they really this? But I'm still making excuse for them. Yes. But something is telling you this is off.
And the best thing you could have gotten as an opportunity was to talk to people who have worked with this person before. Now, the beauty of these like lengthy talent acquisition processes is you start with like the first interview are generally like lower people than what your position will be. Well, your first interview is with the talent acquisition. So for them to know that what you say in your CV is the real thing. That's their job. Then the second will be maybe someone one of your peer or someone who will report to you. But now you are getting the opportunity to also experience what the lower level people who work in that organization feel about the organization. Then either the more you interview with people, the more you get excited.
Yep.
Or the more you hate it and you say, this past thing might not be for me.
Yep.
And it shows in the following interview.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And I think it's a beautiful way of looking at things. So you do Andela.
So they reach out to me. I think it's a done deal, but no, I go through months of interview. But the more I go through it, of course, Andela was a lovely company. I mean,
you're excited.
The mission is great. Like, we take brilliant minds. They can learn something meaningful in 8 months and contribute to the digital transformation globally, not even just in the countries we are recruiting them. Everyone wanted to contribute to that. So
shout out, a big shout out to Andela, because the Andela model has now been heavily replicated across Africa. When you look at what's happening in Ethiopia, with many of the software engineers and companies putting them together,
yes.
The talent there. When you look at what's happening in Rwanda, we have different versions of Andela across the different startup hubs that we have, and these are employing thousands of young Africans on the continent. All it started was with this one vision by this one company. And a big shout out to Andela, man. I'll give them their flowers.
Exactly. This model is like, when I was building Axis, I first recruited people who were finishing university, paying them well, thinking like they can do the work, but then no. Then I started a model where I would take like 6 interns, then churn out like 4 of them, remain with the 2 best, then restart. And I started to building actually a good team, because that's when it's only on the job when you detect people who love coding. Like coding, software engineering, you need to be passionate. Like, you have a problem, you need to be spending time on it. It's not like, it's 5, let me go home.
Yep.
So the model, you can detect these people with, again, that model Andela had. And then second thing, like, in Rwanda, probably by the time I left, we had recruited 200 and trained 200 of them for the 8 months. And some of these guys, I still work with them on different programs and projects. They are some of the best talent in software engineering we have around. So, and it has accelerated, like, the talent. Like, if you are a startup and want someone to join you to do something and write code and so, most likely this person will have been exposed to the work Andela did.
Yes. Actually, most of the CTOs that I'm meeting in town there, they are products of Andela.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, and that's why shout out to Andela, and it's amazing.
Yeah, and shout out to in Andela, government is always at the forefront. So this was the first time where government told Andela, please come to Rwanda. We will subsidize the training part. You will create jobs, but we understand it's a big investment for you, and you can see Rwanda as a small country, and therefore your ability to tap into a big pool of talent is low. So we are ready to subsidize. Because at the end of the day, we will still have the talent locally because they have been exposed to it.
No, great that you mentioned that government here subsidizing. Often not, when I'm speaking to friends within the sectors, within tech, within finance, across the continent, it's the other way, right? In many of our other African countries, rarely has government been at the forefront of building a sector as much as the way government in Rwanda has been at the forefront of building the ICT sector intentionally. Sports as well right now. It's heavily at the forefront. So shout out to that vision.
Yeah.
Clement, you moved from Mandela. Where to?
Maybe for the interest of time, let's talk what we are doing now.
Yes.
But,
New Globe.
Between, I founded a company. I was the founding CTO of a company called Benefactors that was in the fintech.
Yes.
So build the technology, the underlying technology. And
how do I forget all these things?
I can't forget sometimes as well.
Yeah, but Clement, one thing I'm noticing about this trend of the things you've been doing, it's like they're done. You start doing them before their time. Because benefactors right now is very much needed in the space, right? There is market for it.
Yeah.
The time it started out, its vision, it was 3-4 light-head years ahead of its time.
Yeah. Can I tell you an anecdote though?
Yep.
Benefactors model was we can avail funding for people who are still waiting to get paid by their clients, so that they continue growing, and lack of cash flow doesn't prevent them from growing. We can do this well because we are not a deposit financing institution, we are not a bank. And we can leverage digital to vet, know, and then track, and then be more efficient at doing it. So we can lend to hundreds of people, only with maybe 2 or 3 account managers, because you still need to manage accounts. So for us to do that, there needed to be a license, the non-profit, non-deposit taking license.
And that license was created last year
through the discussions and this innovation. But then, generally, Banque Lambert, you know what Banque Lambert is? Like these guys you call it. So what they have been doing is this. Just them, they know, it's based on relation, and it's not so many people, so it's not like at scale. It's rather people.
Someone
they have recommended,
lets you know, they recommend.
They start gouging you, but they do that. Many of the historical Banque Lambert people in this town have created now formal business. That have websites and say we give you funding as you wait for. So so these things can work. So I mean, benefactors, great ideas, hard to scale because relationship still looks like important within this, like knowing the person and so.
Especially when it comes to the paying back side.
Exactly. So I was consulting with a company called Public Digital that is based in the UK that helps different governments improve their digital public services. Great company, great consulting firm. But then fast forward 2021, a company called New Globe reaches out to me, says we are going to enter into a contract with the government of Rwanda to help improve learning outcome by combination of pedagogical approach, digitization of the experience in public schools, and so. Again, aligned with what I've done at Irembo, at Tandela, it's public-private partnerships, and I love doing this. So, I joined to lead the program called Rwanda Equip, which was Rwanda Education Quality Improvement Program. So, our approach is to improve teaching and learning in classroom by leveraging on a pedagogical approach called structured pedagogy. So a teacher is given a structured on how to deliver a lesson step by step. And this calls to the weakness in teachers' ability to teach in English. That's because government was transitioning to English as a medium of instruction since 2019. Then our approach also leverages a lot on improved school management by tracking whether teachers have come to school, whether students have come to school, whether the head teacher has observed teachers and gave them feedback, all those. And we can do that because every teacher to get digital guides, we send them digitally to a tablet that we give to every teacher. And then 3 is to continuously improve then based on the data we collect, because every teacher is showing us collecting a presence of student, but also correlating or entering scores of each student on each mid-term test or end-term test. So this is huge amount of data that we can analyze, and then adjust the content so that majority of the students in the classroom can acquire learning. If they fall behind, then we will make those structures so that they touch those that need to ramp up, but also still support those that are at level or so. So, and also this data helps policy making, like what can we do as a policy when it comes to teaching English, when it comes to number of lessons we have. So in Rwanda Equip, we did it in 760 schools, so that's 20,000 devices distributed to 20,000 teachers that we have trained in advance for 10 days, then started tracking that. And Fast forward, I think some of the data we've seen is in a year, students that have been exposed to, or students who were in the schools we have been supporting, learn the equivalent of an additional term in comparison to the other students that don't.
That are not
receive
getting,
from the learning.
Because
that's
it
what
forms
we
some
try.
form of educational accountability.
Exactly. So one, we have improved teacher attendance by 10%.
Nice.
We have improved student attendance by about 2-3%.
Okay.
It's sizable.
Yeah.
So if you had like pupil attendance of 81% and it grew to 85%, it's considerable.
Yep.
You are talking about almost 1 million students. So that's 30,000 more students that attend school more regularly.
Yep.
So like a lot of good things that are going on. So we do this in many countries: Nigeria, Central Africa, Liberia, and we do in India. We do it in the state of Manipur.
Okay.
So I started working on Rwanda Equip, but now I'm the chief operating officer for the whole company, overseeing all those programs.
Clement, EduTech, and great that we're here in EduTech. I'm here. I'm wearing my VCVS hat. There's a reason as to ask why we focused on sports tech. EduTech is one of the hardest to monetize unless you're working with, because your client or competitor is the government. Yeah. So if you don't have the government as client, especially across Africa, then they're your competitors with the schools. Do you envision that ever changing for the EduTech space? And is there still a gap for reinvention in the EduTech space? How do we ensure that there's more technology usage, or we make things much easier for that student, in that pupil in Bulawayo, or that person in the deepest of villages?
So when we talk about education, before we even talk about education technology, we always, education is different at all levels. So there is primary education, or let's call it basic education, from nursery to let's say lower secondary, so third year of secondary. Okay. That's basic. That's what we would love every single person
to at least have.
Right? Then after that, you start to have some level of specialization. Yeah. That's like upper secondary. Yeah. Then arts, after that, you have university, blah, 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 and then technical colleges and TVETs and things like that. So all these stages have different needs from when it comes to technology. They have different needs. Like basic education, you need a human being in front of the kids. A kid learn from another human.
Do you think AI solves for this? Because
no, it doesn't. There is ways, but AI needs to come and enhance the capability of the person who is seeing this 5-year-old, 6-year-old in front of them. That's basic education, right?
Yep.
So
how do we get more teachers in classrooms? Because even the quality of teachers, right? Yes. So you find that you have a very good teacher in Ekigali school, while 8 hours away in Changugu, they can't have the same quality of teacher. But AI could enhance this and transport his teacher to Changugu virtually, and he or she is having the same class in another place. Do we see that happening sooner rather than later?
Again, let's look at these 25, 6 years old seated in a classroom in Changugu.
Okay.
Right? Their attention span, their everything. Everything. And you have that one seated in the back of the class that maybe didn't have enough food in the morning, and you have all this situation there. You need that human to be there. So yes, you can have a video showing something, but the person behind in that video is not seeing
the things going on
the engagement the students have. Is not pausing a little bit to make sure that one that seemed to be distracted or having an issue does. However, a teacher with a device that helps them improve their approach, that reminds them to get the student energized, that reminds them to repeat a notion that they have given yesterday. Because naturally, or like when you are a teacher and you teach and majority of your student will not understand because of so many other factors, very quickly you tend to focus on those one and at the front who can answer. Yeah. So we will still go fast to focus on that one who are understanding, who probably are part of the 10-20% who have parents that also completed schooling, so parents will follow up in the evening. So you may easily tend to focus on that. But if you have something that reminds you that, oh, you need to repeat this lesson like at least 4 times, so that not only this in front do it, but also those at the back.
At the back.
Yeah, but then AI, yes, because then you collect scores for that, and then the AI adapt the lesson based on what your classroom is doing. Then AI is starting to help, right? Then AI, when you are a teacher who do not use English as your mother tongue, but you are asked to be teaching in English, and you are talking and you're pronouncing something wrong, and the audio here has been captured and can give you some indicator, like, oh, pronounce it this way. That can help. Like it's enhancing.
It's enhancing.
Yeah. I feel that's what we do. So, of course, at New Globe, I will always defend that. But if you say, yeah, but an innovator is going to come with AI, I will still question the 6-year-old in Cyangugu who, as you mentioned, who
is not having that physical teacher.
Who has not that attention span to sit and watch a video. Yes, a cartoon is attractive.
But for how long?
For how long? You know.
Totally relatable, because I remember myself after you've had a heavy meal at lunch, those after lunch lessons.
Yes.
My God, if a teacher is not in class,
if a teacher is not creating an improvised game to wake you up,
I am sleeping.
We call them cheers and energizers in our program.
Yep. Yeah. I am sleeping. I am sleeping. Yeah. So I see that happening to kids if they don't have those.
Now, yes, I'm talking about the device. Now you know the glasses, the Meta glasses.
Yes,
like
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. So not only the glass is watching the classroom alongside you, then we have a tablet. So you may even be lost in the tablet. But maybe the next innovation is you have smart glasses, the lesson guide and the thing.
The screen is
you are seeing it, but you are looking at the same time. But also the camera is helping you know what's going on and can nudge you to, you know what, maybe this is time to do an energizer. 30% of the classroom is
dozing off.
Yeah, dozing off. That could be interesting. So yes, there are many things, but that enhance the human.
Clement, what is the direction of New Globe and EduTech on the continent? Where do you envision it going in the next 4 or 5 years?
So what we do is not necessarily, I feel it hasn't been very well understood yet. It's well known by all research that structured pedagogy can improve dramatically learning outcomes in the developing country. Structured pedagogy, where you do have teachers who are not well trained, and so structured pedagogy has shown its potential over and over again.
Okay.
I believe at New Globe, we have shown our capability to do it at scale. Like we do it in 760 schools, supporting 20,000 teachers, 800,000 students here. We are doing it for 2 million plus students across all the programs we support. And we have shown we can do it at scale, and by combining digital and the approach, the structured pedagogy approach. And we have studies that show that it can actually deliver learning outcomes. In a year, it already shows results. Like education programs that already shows results in a year are very, very few. Now, the thing is that we need to get to that stage where it's understood by the end beneficiary, that being the policymakers in education, but also the teacher in the classroom, who maybe was used to teach 1 hour and then rest for another hour and then teach another hour. Now the system shows when they haven't given any lesson or done what they should do. They also need to understand this. So it's a whole change management process. But how does that happen is us continuing doing the best we can do, waiting for the whole ecosystem to understand. And I think as we wait, as also all the technology is becoming better that is available to us, like recognizing audio and then supporting people through audio, like all these are becoming better exponentially lately. So leveraging AI in what we do. I mean, I just fantasized on Meta glasses, but maybe I'll go back and talk to our CTO. By the way, have we been thinking about that? Yeah, but like basically we are improving fast our technology. One of the things we've already piloted a lot even in Rwanda is having an app on the teacher's smartphone that helps them correct papers like faster. Like they just picture them and it's a specific exam sheet that we also give them. They fill in bubble, but the students can also write some text, and then the AI will detect it and give them the marking, but also give or shares the marks with the government through our technology, so that we can almost do real-time assessment of where students are across the country, like the one in Cyangugu you gave as an example. So a lot of innovation that still comes, but for us is really that combination of innovation, a pedagogical approach, and an improved school management approach that the ecosystem isn't used to. The more we get it accepted, the more it gets adopted, the more people start to get that satisfaction of seeing more students succeeding, then I think we are up to something.
Who is Clement?
A father of 3, husband, a son to amazing people. By the way, I sometimes seem to be doing this thing, but I'm very lucky to still have parents who have done exceptional things and who inspire me and who I still have to spend time with. Yeah. And great siblings. You talked about, you saw when we were starting.
That's my guy.
I mean, I'd say Clement is a rather happy person and very grateful to do work that make changes. Like,
what keeps you up at night lately?
It's that I have a big team that I work with directly. Yeah. It's how to give them confidence that despite hard times, by the way, we are all going through hard times. I think everyone knows, like business-wise, and so
it's tough.
We work in places where, like, currencies is devaluating and all those things.
Payments are taking longer.
Payments are taking much longer. So we are in hard times. But it's how do I continue to create confidence for at least the team I work with directly, but also the broader teams that are part of what we do. That what we do is the right thing, and we just need to be courageous and continue pushing hard, advocating and championing education and public education. Because if we do what we do in partnership with governments, then that means public education will succeed. And when public education succeeds, every kid has a chance. Yep. So if we do this and we stick in there, like, then we will be there. And what we've put in place, what we've been building for years, is the right thing. So what keeps me at night is how best do I get as much people to feel that confidence and
see it through.
Pull the most out of them to fight through these hard times.
If you were to write a letter or talk to 21-year-old Clement, what is the one thing you will tell them?
Trying to remember where I was at 21. I was in my first year of university, second year of university. Mm-hmm. at that year, so when I was 20, I went to university. It was France. I did succeed my first year.
I was in your town so sometime back,
Montpellier,
Yeah.
exactly, yes. So the first year, I passed, but I passed barely. And I mean, I have rather been a good student. I had been a good student before, but you know, first year of university, outside partying a lot, and so I barely passed, and I had some anxiety crises and things like that during that time. And so when I started second year, when I was coming back home on vacation, at the airport, I came across a book on Buddhism. I mean, by the Dalai Lama. So bought it, came reading it, and learned about meditation, thoughtfulness, and so. So when at 21, I was starting to be a lot very into those things of meditation, thoughtfulness, and so. And I'll tell Clem, I mean, I now 21, I think it's the timing exactly I was doing those things. So I'll tell Clement back then, do that considerably more. And I think that's when routine started to be part of the things I focus on. Yeah. And I would say, look into more and read more, because at that time I wasn't reading more. So I would tell, and read more beyond that Buddhist book and other Buddhism book that I then got into. When I get into something, I'm into it.
You get a little obsessed until you go down a funnel.
Exactly.
I relate. If there is one guest across Africa that you would love to hear their story, one African, who would that be?
One African whose story I would like to hear. I mean, when you talk about that, like, people think about people they see and have had already some of their stories, but then you don't know the deep down, like, some of the real story, like the genuine things.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about Kagame, of course, in Africa. Like,
if
I had the opportunity to sit and I hear things I didn't read in the book.
Yeah. We'll get him. We'll get him on Pivot and Profit, inshallah.
Let's say, I've always had I don't know, but I will always say, okay, who is the politician I admire now and who is the business person I admire now? Yeah. And I think, like, one of the most inspiring business person lately is also Dangote, with his big bets on oil refinery. Now he's on another big bet. And I love, like, you know, when he speaks, he's very posed and humble and, like, thoughtful, not very show off, nothing. So this is a person you like to sit with over a few glasses of whiskey. And
he's a Hajj, so I'm not sure about the whiskey. Well, but hopefully at the next Africa Renaissance we're able to get him on here the next time he's in Kigali, inshallah.
Yeah.
Thank you for making the time.
Maybe quick wins. Next time when you invite people. Gatere Jid.
You know what? Yes. Yeah, we're going to get him onto Pivot and Profit. Adam, Sonia, you've heard Clement Uwajeneza, a.k.a. Clement, a friend of mine, has been whooping me at golf a lot lately. Thank you for making the time, Clement, and best of luck on the next 5 years.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll check in on you in the next 5 years. You've been watching or listening to another episode of Pivot and Profit, a podcast brought to you by the K Financial and Pace Productions. Now, you could find us across all social media platforms. That's at K Financial News, at Pace_Productions. You could send us all your suggestions for which guests you would like, how we could best improve also this content for you. If you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do so across YouTube and across all your podcast platforms. Have a great rest of your day.